Hello and welcome to episode 133 of the Sock Bunny Knit and Fit video podcast. My name is Kimberly, also known as Sock Bunny, and this is a very unenthusiastic. This is Pumpkin. He's very not happy that I'm holding him right now. He's purring a little bit though, but he's trying to get away, but he's purring, so I don't understand. But hi everybody, this is Pumpkin. Hello everybody. Let me down. Let me down. The crazy lady has me. Oh, help me. Help me, send help. Okay, you silly. Oh yeah. I have cat hair everywhere now. I'm sorry, Pumpkin. He's a nut. So anyway, oh, I forgot to open my notes. Hello, that would help. So this is episode 133. Today is Friday, January 23rd, 2015. I am recording in sunny Florida in the United States of America. It was overcast all morning, but the sun has finally come out. And I am Sock Bunny on Ravelry, Plurk, Instagram, Google+, Twitter, and YouTube. And don't forget the podcast is only on YouTube from now on, not on iTunes or on Blip. And the blog is at sockbunnyknitandfit.blogspot.com. I did want to say really quick that Sarah did receive the box. Oh, my nose is going crazy now. Sarah did receive the box of hand knit socks that we had sent up there. So thank you to everybody who donated socks. And Sarah's going to be home for Rachel's birthday, which is Valentine's Day. So I'm going to try to have her on the podcast and talk about them getting the socks and all that kind of stuff. So thank you again from the bottom of my heart and from all of their hearts. Thank you, everybody who donated socks to Sarah and her housemates. Something else charity related I wanted to talk about really quick. I did a screenshot. I meant to type it into my notes, but I forgot. Let me pull up. Here we go. So Grace, who is Daisy Creations Designs, she sent me, well, she posted on Instagram that one of her friends is trying to raise money for some medication they need because of a kidney transplant, and they're trying to get it by the end of this month. So 75% of her new pattern is going to go towards that, and the pattern is called Circle of Friends. So, and it's a fingerless mitt pattern. So if you're interested in helping somebody out, you can go on Ravelry and purchase the pattern. Again, it's called Circle of Friends, and it's Daisy Creations Designs. So, just wanted to give that a mention. While we have the phone out, let's see how warm it is here today. It is currently 77 degrees Fahrenheit, and it is next week going to be down in the 60s. The Sockman retreat's in 2 weeks. Who knows what the temperature will be then? I don't know, but I'm betting it's probably still going to be at least not snowing. How about that? Let's find out what 77 is in Celsius. Okay, Google, convert 77 degrees Fahrenheit to Celsius. I don't know if you heard that, but she said it's 25 degrees Celsius. So for all you non-USA people out there. So let's see, what are we going to talk about today? We are going to talk about, oh, he's hopped up in the window now. Pumpkin, you're so adorable for putting up with me. We're going to talk about charity, finished objects, works in progress, upcoming events, fitness, tips and tricks, what I am watching and reading, and favorite things. So let's hop right into it. And we have our co-host John here, who's going to be talking later when we get to the stash enhancement part. Sit up straight. Gosh. If you're a new viewer, John is a bunny my grandma gave me when I was little, and he's the mascot of the podcast. He says he's the star, and the whole reason people even tune in is because of him, but we'll save that discussion for when we're not on air. Okay, so my finished object, I have one finished object. I finished The Hitchhiker by Martina Behm, or Bame, or however people are saying it now. This is an awesome pattern. I think this is at least my third one that I've done. Is knit on the bias and is knit with sock yarn. This is a relatively scratchy sock yarn, I have to say. It wasn't very fun to knit with the yarn, but I do love the pattern. It's a metallic yarn. I can't tell if you're seeing sparkles or not, but there's sparkles in there. A little bit of sparkle. I found the ball band. It is Barocco Socks Metallic. I kept saying it was Wisdom Yarns, but it's not. It's Barocco Socks. So I knit this on size 3 needles, and I really, like I said before, love the hitchhiker pattern. I don't know when I'm ever going to get to wear this. I have worn zero knitwear this winter because it's been so warm. So, but I like it. I'm going to offer it to Sarah when she comes home and see if she or any of her housemates wants it. If not, then I'll just keep it for myself. So that is my one finished object. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, I scared the heck out of myself. I thought I had dropped a stitch. It's just a dark spot in the yarn. Whew, that scared me. Okay, so that is my one and only finished objects. I have quite a few works in progress. I'm just going to grab them as I get to them. They're all in a basket down here. First, I want to show, though, Denise from the Knitting Den podcast, on her latest podcast, was talking about crocheting a granny square blanket out of sock yarn. Are you hopping down? Whoop, don't get caught in the cord. Okay. She was talking about knitting crocheting a granny square sock yarn blanket, and so I wanted to show mine. It's a project that I started probably 5 years ago, and I got pretty far along with it. It's as wide as a twin size bed, and it's really lap blanket size right now. But this is one continuous granny square. And Pumpkin's eating his lunch slash dinner. Oh, my face is itching from holding in my face. So it takes quite a while to go around each row right now, which is why I put it into retirement, because I was getting, tired of it. So I'm probably going to pull it out sometime soon and start adding more rows to it, because I do have some sock yarn scraps that I have quite large balls of, and that would be perfect for this project. So so yes, Denise, you can crochet a single granny square all the way around and make a blanket. It's very heavy and very warm, and I really like it. So while we're talking about sock yarn blankets, I'll show you the knit version that I'm doing, which is by Shelly Kang, and Knitting Blooms. Tina has the Knitting Blooms podcast. The host is Blooming Knitter. She has tutorials on how to do this blanket if you're interested. This is a pattern by Shelly Kang. It's a free pattern, and it's called a mitered square sock yarn blanket. And you can see I've gotten quite a bit done. I did have a weaving in the ends party, but I need to go and have another one, evidently. I am in the middle of a square, of course. Here I am in the middle of a square. So I have done quite a few squares since you saw it last, so I'm going to go ahead and show those to you. So this one's new, and this one, I'm in the middle of that. And here is awesome. This is, oh, my mind is going completely blank. Oh, jitterbug. There you go. That's what that is. And I had knit socks for charity socks out of this yarn. And then like a few years ago, like 4 years ago, this is another square and another, and let's see, another. So all the ones that have the little hickey jiggies on them, as I call them, doohickeys, thingamabobs, stitch markers, are the new ones that you haven't seen yet. So I have gotten quite a few done. The goal would be to do a square a day, but it hasn't been happening. So I'm, doing 2 or 3 a week, and I guess that's just going to have to be good enough. This obviously is a long-term project. It's just, it's a nice palette cleanser in between doing other things. So I really am enjoying it, though. And of course, it doesn't have a deadline. So, whenever. It's for me. Whenever I finish it, it's fine. Let's see, what is next? A sweater for my daughter Sarah. She is 22. She lives in Chicago. I've talked about her very, very much. Excuse me, she's a Catholic missionary. And I am using my bag that I cross-stitched a couple of years ago. It is a fish with lips bag because I have this thing for fish with lips. I don't know why. So this sweater is Chocolate Stout. The designer is Thea Coleman. The yarn is Knit Picks Wool of the Andes in the Sapphire Heather color. It's a worsted. It's 100% Peruvian Highland wool. And the needles that I'm using, I absolutely love. They're my favorite sweater needles. These are KA needles. I don't know how you would say it. Size 7 bamboo. Love, 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 love these needles. I have never seen them locally, though. If I did, I would probably buy them. But I bought these in a yarn store in Massachusetts a couple of years ago. So the last time you guys saw the sweater, which is being worked from the bottom up, I was around where you split for the sleeves. I can't remember if I had split or I was about to split. I think I was about to split for the sleeves. So I've gotten quite a bit done because I finished the back. And I am working on the right front for the second time because I got about 2/3 done with it the first time, and then I realized further down I had a problem with a few stitches, and it was easier just to do it over than to try to drop down because this has cables which are one stitch, well, 2-stitch cables, just one in front of the other. So I decided just to drop down and rip it out and do it again. It was easier than trying to fix it. Trust me, it was easier. So this shows that I have progressed as a knitter because when I was a new knitter, there's, first of all, no way I could have done this pattern because you have to keep track of multiple things at the same time. Like you have to keep track of your decreases for the armhole, which are done at a different rate and a different style than your decreases for the neckline. And also the knit pattern is there are no rest rows. You knit on the front, the pattern on the front and the back. So that is a pretty big deal for me. I'm very proud of myself for doing this because it definitely is a stretch for me. I can do it, but I can only do it when I have the mental capacity to concentrate. So I'm very much enjoying it though. And the yarn, I had made her a sweater out of this yarn and she really likes it. So I do enjoy the yarn. It's very inexpensive. I am going to have enough left over to make myself a sweater. I won't be knitting this sweater again anytime soon. I'm a very simplistic knitter. I like things that are simple and not fiddly, and this is fiddly for me. I know other people could probably knit this in their sleep, but for me it's a little bit fiddly. So I like plainer knitting. So if I do a sweater for myself out of this, you can bet it'll just be plain stockinette. So most likely anyway, or maybe some lace. So I really like this project. The yarn is very squishy. It's definitely going to keep her warm. It's my first time doing pockets also, so that's another stretch for me. So lots of firsts in this project, which is good. I do want to have it done though by the middle of February because she's coming home for Rachel's birthday. Rachel is going to turn 21 on Valentine's Day. My girls are only 18 months apart. So I am trying to get this done. This has to be priority. Although if I push myself too hard with it, it hurts my wrists. So I can only do a little bit each day, but I'm trying to like really make this priority knitting. Although you can't tell it from all the whips that I have going on. But I do have to work on other things in between. Otherwise it bothers my wrist to knit it too much. And that's with any sweater that I knit. I have that same issue. I'm thinking though, maybe this summer of doing a lace weight sweater. I know, crazy. And I'm thinking that I could probably knit on that one for hours and hours at a time and not have any problems. Because thinner yarns, well, cat hair. Thinner yarns don't bother me. Oh, it's bothering me. I know, gross, right? Okay. Pumpkin. He's probably hiding from me because I snatched him. Okay, so next work in progress. This is my current obsession that I have to make myself put it down to work on other things, namely Sarah's sweater. First of all, the bag is by Rainstorm Studios, who is Christine, who will be at the Sock Bunny Retreat in 2 weeks. I can't wait. And so her Etsy shop is rainstormstudios.etsy.com. And the yarn is by another person who's going to be vending at the Sock Bunny Retreat, who is Daisy Knits. And her Shop is Daisy, Daizie, knits.etsy.com. There's her card. The yarn is magnificent. I cannot recommend it highly enough. It's her shoot base. Focus. It's 60% merino, 30% bamboo, and 10% silk. And oh my gosh, words cannot describe how magnificent this yarn is. So without further ado, here's the yarn. Oh, what in the heck did I do? Got this all tangled up. Here's the yarn. It's peachy, not orangey like you're seeing here, which I love orange, so I don't have a problem with that. And the project is also magnificent. So I am loving every single thing about this project. The yarn is so, so fabulous to knit with. It's so, so soft and scrumptious. So it's a shawl / scarf pattern by Clothesline Designs, who is Quilter Caroline. You'll have to tell me which one it is. But it's 4 different patterns that you repeat at various intervals, and I really, really, really am enjoying it. It's very well written. I highly, highly recommend this project. I can't recommend it highly enough. And she was nice enough to say that I could give this away, the pattern away, to 2 people at the Sock Bunny retreat as door prizes. So that's 2 of the door prizes that we will have at the Sock Bunny retreat is that pattern. So I love everything about this. I love the bag. I wish all of my project bags were window bags. I wish all of them were. Just makes life so much easier. In fact, I have so many whips right now, which that's not a big surprise, right? But a few years ago, what I used to do is actually have a written list of the bag and then the project that was inside it, so I wouldn't forget about anything, because with me, out of sight is out of mind. So I think I might have to do that again. Everything I'm showing you today is all of my knitting except I think 2 works in progress that I have going on. Next, I have in this awesome bag that I can't remember who donated this or gave this to me. So if it was you, could you please remind me, because there's not a tag in it and I have very, very bad memory. But the project is a colorwork project using 2 colors, and this is Cascade Heritage Sock Yarn, which is lovely to knit with. Very, very, it's such a great yarn for so inexpensive. I think, well, a couple years ago when I bought this, it was only $12 a ball. Cascade Heritage Sock Yarn, fingering weight. And the pattern that I'm doing was, this was donated last year to the attendees of the Sock Bunny retreat. This is a book of colorwork patterns, and I showed it off last year. I am knitting a cowl out of here, and it is called the Faux Double Knit Wowl Cowl, or Wow Cowl. And it's supposed to look like it's double knit, but it's actually colorwork and knit in the round. And she has it to where one side has the one color as the background and another color as the stripes, and then it's reversed on the other side. But my brain evidently can't handle that, and I had to cast on several times. So finally, I decided that mine's going to be the same on both sides. So I've only gotten a few rows done, but I did want to show it off. It has a provisional cast on, so that's going to be, oh, of course I'm in the middle of a row. The orange yarn that you're going to see is a provisional cast on yarn, but the other ones, oh, let me try to get this. I need to not stop in the middle of a row with this project, but here we go. There we go. It's color work, and this is going to be awesome. This is going to be a long-term vanilla brainless in between the other projects project. So it'll take me a long time because I'm pretty much gonna knit it until I run out of yarn, and that's gonna take a long time. And it's knit, I believe these are size 2 needles. I'm pretty sure these were the needles I used to knit my very first pair of socks. These are Knit Picks. They're what do they call theirs? Harmonies. Knit Pick Harmonies needles. So very much enjoying that pattern as well. And I think I've had short attention span with my knitting lately, just like with everything. And then this next project is in a bag that Denise from the Knitting Den podcast, and she has the Knit Run Dig, no, Sam from Knit Run Dig, not Denise, Sam from Knit Run Dig gave this to me last year at Rhinebeck. And in this bag, I have, oh, and Sam also is coming to the Sock Bunny retreat. In this bag, I have a hat I am making for Rachel's boyfriend, Thomas. He asked me to make him a red hat, and the color's pretty accurate. This is Ella Rae Classics. It's 100% wool, and I am knitting it on 2 circulars because that's how I like to knit hats. And it's going to be like a beanie type hat for him. So he has a rather large head. So I actually had started once and it was too small, so I cast on more stitches, did again. How's this look? You totally should go to a knitting event and just wear something like this around. Everybody would just love it. All right. The new style in fashion in knitwear. Half done projects. I know some people wear yarn just like, you know, in hanks when they get cold, so why not, you know? All right, so again, the bag was by Sam from the Knit Run Dig podcast. And next we have, this bag is from Denise and the Knitting Den podcast, and she has an Etsy shop also, and she gifted this bag to me last year for my birthday. In this bag, I have my plain vanilla socks that I'm doing for my January socks, and some purple that I dyed on my own sparkly base, which is, you can see the sparkles there a little bit. And this is my, when I need something completely brainless project. The goal would be normally to finish these by the end of January, but I'm trying to give Sarah's sweater precedence over pushing myself to finish these, so these will get done with it whenever. Either way, February 1st I will draw another bag of mystery sock yarn, but I'm thinking that I might not make socks with all of the ones that I pull out because I am loving knitting shawls so much, and also I have a really big box of socks which I should show on an upcoming podcast, and it's getting overflowing with socks, so I think each month I'll play it by ear. So that is my January Mystery Sock Club, Personal Sock Club sock. And next, this is a project that I am knitting for Rachel, who is going to be 21 on Valentine's Day. My baby is growing up. She picked out this yarn, which I would never pick this yarn. I mean, I like it. I like the colors and everything, but this is Isaac Mizrahi Craft. It's a single wrapped by another like nylon type fun yarn. So I don't like knitting with this because it's very splitty. And have this, and I think this was made by MISIM. If you could correct me and tell me, I'm pretty sure that's who made this. So that was this bag. I've had it for a few years and I love it. So 2 of my favorite colors, orange and cream. So I'm on the 2nd ball, and when I get done with the 3rd ball, I will be done. So you can see it's gotten pretty long. And this is going to be an infinity cowl. So when I get done, I'm just going to bind off, seam it up, and she will have a cowl, which she probably may not get to wear this year because it is still super warm here. But I mean, I like the finished object, but I am not enjoying knitting it very much. I have to watch while I knit it. I can't just like go onto autopilot, even though it is garter stitch. I can't just go into autopilot. I have to watch it because I keep splitting between the 2 plies. These are size 15 needles by Deborah Norville, which I love. They are the smoothest of all the wooden needles I've ever used. So I will definitely be buying more of her brand of needles. They sell them at Joann's. So that is that project, and I cast on approximately 30 stitches thereabouts. Could that be all of my whips? Let's see. Sweater, minded square blanket, socks, shawl, infinity cowl, red hat, and the wow cowl. Yes, I am done showing off all my knitting. So let's talk about upcoming projects, because obviously I don't have enough on the needles. Oh, John, sit up. He fell asleep. Oh, okay. future projects. In February, after I finish Sarah's sweater, I am going to cast on the February lady sweater. My friend Girldale and I are going to do that as a joint knit along, the two of us. Of course, you can feel free to join in if you want to. It's just an informal thing that she and I are going to do. So that's the February lady sweater. And then I'm also going to make a scarf. This is going to be crocheted, and it's going to be in my two of my favorite colors, orange and green. And this is going to be crocheted out of this book, which I've had for several years, and I haven't made anything out of it yet. And I need to. There's certain things on my wish list, and I just need to make them a priority. So, like one of the reasons I bought this book is because she's got buttered toast scarf. Let's see if I can show the actual scarf on her. Yeah, here's the buttered toast scarf. How adorable. There are cupcakes, salad, pears, grapefruit slices, all different kinds of stuff. There's even a hat pattern in here, which is really cute. Let me show you that. It's like a cupcake hat, chocolate cupcake hat with blue frosting, which is adorable. So there are several things in here I like. The thing that I'm going to make, if you know me at all, you probably might be able to guess, is a giant carrot scarf. Yes, a giant carrot scarf, because that's how I roll. I love it. And so that is going to be on the needles within the next few months. So I'm just pulling everything out that I really, really want to start and getting it in one place so I don't forget about it and get distracted by the newest, latest, prettiest thing to come down the pipe. Another thing that I want to do is somebody had gifted me several years ago a pattern for a flamingo scarf, and I want to do that. And also I have the yarn for it, but I haven't had a chance to make it. I want to make Rachel a Dalek hat, and but I told her I wasn't going to start that until I finished the Infinity Cowl, because she only gets one project on needles at a time. Rachel is not knit worthy. She does not appreciate the time that goes into it. She doesn't want to hear about knitting talk or whatever. She's not supportive, so she's not knit worthy, but I love her, so I'm knitting it for her anyway. Sarah, on the other hand, my older daughter, is very knit worthy, so that's why she's getting the sweater. I would not knit a sweater for Rachel. She would not appreciate it. Plus, she doesn't need it anyway. Okay, so those are my future upcoming planned projects. Upcoming events, the Sock Bunny Retreat is going to be February 5th through the 7th, and we will be celebrating my 49th birthday while we're there, and I'm super excited to get to spend my birthday with my knitting friends. It's going to be very, very much fun, and I am going to bring scraps that I have. If anybody wants to work on their sock yarn blanket or start a sock yarn blanket or just take some yarn for their sock yarn blanket, and if you have some that you want to bring to donate to other people, totally feel free, but no pressure if you don't want to. We're going to do Sock Extravaganza again in June, July, and August. And what that is like Sockapalooza or whatever you want to call it. We're going to have many, many different categories that your socks can go into and lots of prizes. And then again, next year, I am going to do the Sock Bunny Retreat for my 50th birthday. Plan ahead though, because I am going to do registrations early in the year. I'm going to do things a little bit differently for the third annual one in 2016. It's going to be, I'm going to start taking signups August 1st, and it's going to be first come, first serve. I do expect it to sell out next year because I am going to advertise it and stuff like that. So I'm really going to promote it. The first couple of years, I haven't really promoted it or advertised it because I wanted to keep it small. Next year, though, I have 20 slots. I expect it to sell out. So plan accordingly. August 1st for registrations and payments. And also the dates will be the first weekend in February 2016. So yes, we're already starting to talk about next year's retreat. But I have some big, big plans for next year. It's going to be like I said, the last couple of years has been sort of a trial run. I sort of have all the kinks worked out, and so I can actually let it get a little bit bigger next year. So plan ahead and plan accordingly, because like I said, August 1st is when I'll start taking registrations and payments for that. So, and I'll put the information up in the Ravelry group as that time approaches. Actually, I probably should go ahead and do that now. So remind me if I forget. Okay, let's talk about fitness. Every month in the Sock Bunny group, we have a fitness along. If you work out any day, at least 30 consecutive minutes, or if you wear a pedometer and it says you did 10,000 steps in a day, you get one entry per person per day. And the winner each month gets to choose up to a $10 giftable pattern or multiple patterns that add up to $10. Let me try that again. Multiple patterns that add up to $10. So I have not worked out this past week because I've had a cold. Rachel has it now. She's actually lying on the couch. She didn't go to work or school today. And so I have felt really, really yucky. But tomorrow I plan on starting walking again. And then if I feel up to it later in the week, I'll start running again. So okay, now my super handsome bunny over here, John, is going to take over for this next part. Well, at least assist me for the next part. So, John, are you ready to help out with the podcast? Sure. Hi, everybody. Hi. I missed you. Did you miss me? Ooh. Ooh. Hi. Close up. Okay, so like I said, this is my bunny that I've had since I was little. He's the mascot of the show. He says he's the star. We disagree on that. And he, every year, for my birthday and for Christmas and for Mother's Day, he buys me presents because he's the best son ever. Aren't you? Yes. And he says he's way more handsome than Pumpkin. He says he's way more handsome than Pumpkin, and he's jealous of all the attention that Pumpkin gets. Although he does like taking naps with him. So John bought me some birthday presents, so I thought I would share them with you. So yesterday I stopped by the knitting store, and we have a local knitting store that's like 5 to 10 minutes away from my house, and it's called. Oh my gosh, did my mind just go totally blank? Let's see if there's a receipt in here. Fiber Arts. Oh my gosh. Seriously, I think I haven't had lunch, so, and it's after 2 o'clock, so that's probably it. So I stopped by Fiber Arts yesterday and was just browsing around, see if I saw anything, whatever. And I saw a couple of things that I really, 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 really had to have like that second. So the first one, I've never even heard of this or seen it. It's called Happy Caps, and it was in the kids' yarn section. And there's a little kid. But the free pattern that came with it has adult and kid sizes. Oh, where did I put? Oh, here it is. Has adult and kid size, so it's not just for kids. It looks way better knit up. They did have a knit sample. It looks way better knit up than it did than it does in the ball or even in the sample. I got the last ball of pink. They had a sample knit with the pink, and it's awesome. It's like a flamingo pink color. The pom-pom is not attached to the yarn. You're going to attach it after you finish knitting. So basically, the hat is this color with stripes of this in it is what's going to end up happening. So I cannot wait to cast this on, but I'm not going to let myself until Sarah's sweater is done. I am not allowed to cast that on. Another thing I saw that I've wanted for over a year is also kids yarn. And I think even though I'm turning 49, I'm still a little kid at heart. This is Ella Ray Pompey is evidently how you pronounce it. And it is pom-pom yarn. I got 2 skeins. And this, I will probably make a scarf out of it. Can you just see me wearing a cowl or a scarf? I might crochet it actually. Oh, would this just be an awesome cowl? So this is what John got for me for my birthday. So thank you, John. And the lady the knitting store owner did give me a hat pattern, but it's probably going to be a cowl or a scarf. So thank you, John, for doing that. And John is on the podcast by popular demand. Several people have requested to see his handsome face. We're a cute couple, right? Mother and son. So John will be at the Sock Bunny retreat signing autographs. He says it's going to cost you $1 million to get his autograph, but I say it's going to be free. So thank you, John, very much. Mwah. All right. So, all right. What is next? Oh, tips and tricks. This is a tip I saw on Pinterest. I haven't tried it yet, so this is going to be a test to see if it really works. The tip that I saw on Pinterest is to use a clothespin to store your scraps. Now, I had mentioned a few weeks ago that I started taping the ends of my little scrap balls because they were all coming unwound and it was driving me crazy. So this is an idea that's supposed to work for storing your scraps. So supposedly you wind the yarn around here and then you use the end of the clothespin to like keep the loose end. So I'm going to do it now and we're going to see if this works. So I'm just going to start, and I'm going to wind it loosely because I'm assuming that you're going to want to be able to still move the clothespin, open it at least slightly. So I'm going to wind. Let me wind with my other hand because it's probably faster. Wind around here. If this works, I have a gigantic thing of clothespins that I bought. We actually use clothespins in my house for many things. One thing we use them for is closing potato chip bags. And another thing is when I hang my socks up to dry. I have a little clothesline in my craft room. That's where I hang my socks to dry with the clothespins. So I know it says lay flat to dry when you're knitting socks, but I always just hang mine up by the toes. And we're getting close to the end, I'm assuming, because we're in the second color. I hope this works. This would be ideal for smaller balls. It's not going to work for larger balls, obviously, but oh, yeah, we're getting to the end. But this would be a good way to keep the ends. Okay, so I finished, and you see the little end here, and then just clip the end. Is that going to work? Clip the end in there. Well, I sort of like slid it through, and it's holding. So there you go. There's your tip or trick of the week. It actually works. Something from Pinterest actually worked. It's a miracle. So there you go. How do you like that? Let me know. If you have any other similar things that you do like this, let me know in the comments down below or in the Ravelry group. There you go. All right, so that is our tip or trick of the week. What I am watching and reading. I have not been doing much reading. I mean, I do spiritual reading almost every day. And in fact, when I finish the book that I'm reading, it's a spiritual book, a Catholic book. I will talk about it briefly on the podcast, share it with you when I'm finished. But what I am watching, I am still watching Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and I am on season 4. I'm almost done with season 4. But I have to say, I think it's either it's gotten better or I've just gotten more used to it, or I've lowered my expectations. I mean, it's very... I have to say, if you've watched other Star Trek series, which I've watched original series and The Next Generation and Enterprise, it's semi-predictable because they do repeat storylines. I mean, of course, they'll change things, but I mean, I'll watch an episode and I'll go, yeah, that's just like the original series episode blah, or the Enterprise episode blah, or the Next Generation episode blah. So in a way, it is predictable, but then in another way, maybe that's why I like Star Trek so much, because I know the series. Then again, there are some episodes where I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm never on the edge of my seat, but it's good. I mean, a lot of people say that Deep Space Nine is not the best of the series. So after I finish Deep Space Nine, I will watch Star Trek Voyager, which is the only one that I haven't watched yet. So anyway, season 4, episode 2 made me cry, which is pretty surprising. Star Trek doesn't usually make me cry. It could be because I'm hormonal, because I'm going through menopause now. But it was just a very well done episode. It was about the love of a father and a son, and I guess I could totally relate to that. Not just because of John. But, you know, I love my daughters so deeply. So if you have watched through Star Trek Deep Space Nine, if you remember the episode where Commander Sisko's son, Jake, is shown as an old man. That's all I'll say. I don't want to do any spoilers, but you'll know which episode I'm talking about, maybe. So anyway, that's what I'm watching. And I'm watching still Sims podcasts, and I'm still making Sims podcasts or YouTube videos, not podcasts. And what else? I haven't really been watching a lot of knitting podcasts. I have a few that I've been watching, but I think I'm just going through a Sim stage right now. So once I get that out of my system, I'll probably watch more knitting podcasts again. I need to because I feel like I'm out of the loop because I don't watch a lot of podcasts anymore. As I used to easily watch 40 hours a week of knitting podcasts, and now I'm down to like 4 hours a week, and that's just, you know, not enough, evidently, because I feel like I'm out of the loop like this. Somebody might have shown this on their podcast already, and I have no idea because I haven't been watching that many. So I need to start getting back to my usual ones that I normally watch. And I'll probably just play catch up and watch like their latest 5 episodes or something. So anyway, enough rambling on. Okay, so my favorite thing this week, I am wearing it, and it is a donut T-shirt. In our family, we aggravate my husband a lot we aggravate each other a lot about donuts. Now we don't eat donuts even every week. We eat donuts maybe once a month, but we're constantly talking about donuts, joking about donuts, trying to get my husband to go get donuts, and then he makes up some extravagant story why he can't go get the donuts. And so Rachel's boyfriend Thomas, his parents gave to me and Joe and Rachel, all three, the same T-shirt design, and so it's a donut with a donut hole, and it says "You complete me." So it was quite hysterical when we opened it. So the day that Sarah comes home, we're going to all three try to wear our donut T-shirts and just not tell her. We haven't even told her we have the donut T-shirts, and she's probably just going to want to get back on the plane and go back to Chicago because we're such a weird family. But she was born in this family. She knows how weird we are. So anyway, yes, I really love the donut T-shirt. It really cracks me up. You complete me. Anyway, so that is it. And John, do you want to help me with the closing? Okay. So I would like to say thank you for watching, especially if you're a new viewer. Yes, I'm a little wacky, but that's okay. Life is good these days again, and I am in a happy place right now, so I'm enjoying it while it lasts. And don't forget, we do have a prayer request thread in the Sock Bunny group on Ravelry. So if you want to leave a prayer request, it can even be an unspoken prayer request. Go ahead and do that. Don't forget to enter your fitness in the fitness threads. And I guess that's it. I hope you have a great week. Keep on crafting. Bye. Bye. I love you guys. Thanks for